What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, of course, whenever we have test server access, we've got to get nub raids on. How's it going, bro?
It's good. It's good. My green screen is being non-cooperative today, but we'll make it through. It's a beautiful rainy day in Ireland.
It's alright, you're fitting the theme of the new faction, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically today, we're going to be doing a showcase on actually one of my favorite champions from the new bunch, from the Sylvan Watchers in the White Dryad Nia, or Naya, however you guys want to say it. Aesthetically, looks really cool. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, she does look cool. I think someone was saying that she's like a birch tree or an aspen tree or something like that. We don't have many of those here in Ireland, but I do know what they're talking about. It's pretty nifty, yeah.
What was your favorite champion from the 14 that got released in the recent patch?
Elva, no question. Yeah, man.
She's really solid. And straight after this video, guys, we're actually going to do a part 2 collaboration for, I forgot his name, so I'll leave it to you.
Green Warden Ruark.
There we go.
I probably said wrong.
So if you want to come see it wrong again, jump over to Nubraid's channel, drop a little subscription, and we'll do a little showcase on him as well. But all right, do you just want to read out the A1, the A2, and then I'll break down the second parts?
Yeah, absolutely. So A1, Strangling Plants, attacks all enemies, 30 books to a 50% chance of putting decreased speed for 2 turns, damage based on defense.
Yeah.
And then A2, Riotous Revival, 3-turn cooldown when booked, removes all debuffs from a target ally, heals them by 40% of their max HP. If the target of this skill is not this champion, decreases the cooldown of all of the target skills by 2 turns.
This ability here is so good. Like, this is arguably one of the best epic skills in the game, especially for Hydra boss, because when you have stuff like Geomancers or Husk or max HP champions, or even like Revivers and Taunting champions, this is just like a crazy skill set. And there's been so many times, which you guys will see in the Hydra run later, where we're about to die or we need a provoke to go up on the Head of Decay, and boom, she just resets the cooldowns and gets us back into the fight. So really, really clutch. And you know this A1, this is actually what I wanted for the Morrigan fusion. I was saying, I was like, a 50-50 shot at decreased speed AoE is all that champion needed. But
yeah, it's a great A1. That's Krisk's A1 right there. It's great.
It's really solid, man. And even with being that void affinity so you don't get the weak hits, it's nuts, man.
Yeah.
All right, with the Bark Flesh, it gets a little bit better from here, with the ally protection buff on all allies that accept this champion for 2 turns, and also places the smaller version of the strengthen buff for 2 turns. So this is 2 really crucial damage mitigations, and I kind of look at this champion now as, do you know what? I kind of think she's on par with Snicktrack. I don't know if you can agree with that. I really do, because I put her in a very similar team to what I usually use. And she was just performing so well because she's always getting that decreased speed out because we don't have to wait for cooldowns. Then we're resetting cooldowns of champions like Geomancer to get more burns out. And then she's got Strengthen in there as well, whereas Snicktrack has a shield on his A2. So obviously she's an epic. It's not going to be as good. But I think there's so much use in here, man. She's crazy.
It's very interesting. I will say, certainly, you know, one thing that could open up if she is as good as him, you know, shield buffs do get in the way of blood shield accessories working, which can help certain champions be mischief tanks. So that could be a really interesting combo. I actually haven't seen any gameplay of her yet, but I do think there's so much. Yeah, I think there's so much potential. You know, with that A2, when you think about Painkeeper and how much that opens up, obviously Kymar and stuff like that are more powerful, you know. But these champions that give you that cooldown reduction, it's nearly always a game-changing move. It opens up new teams.
I think why I put this champion at the top in terms of like over a Kymar or something, unless you're speed farming with like Trunders and you're just getting crazy damage, is the utility that she brings alongside the reduction of cooldowns. And if you guys start to pair her in Reflex or Relentless, you start to get this out so many times on a 3-turn cooldown, consistently proccing those reduction of cooldowns. And I think it's so unique to have it with what else she brings as well, with the ally protection, decreased speed, and there's just so much use. And then with the passive as well, whenever this champion is healed, heals each ally except this champion by 20% of that heal. So you could potentially heal herself with the A2, but I kind of use this in a way where maybe if someone heals by Leech or Ugos with like AoE heals, it's just a way to like boost your champions by another 20%. So ultimate support, crazy kit, and one that's on my hit list for when I'm summoning Void Shards.
Yeah, she's really cool. I underestimated her, I think, a little bit the first time I saw her because I saw the small version strengthen.
Yeah.
I was like, small version of a buff, that's not exciting, but it's still really good. That move is
Yeah.
still like super strong.
I
So
think if it was
yeah.
just this, then meh. But because it's got the
Yeah.
ally protection and the strengthen, I think that it just makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah, like it would be too strong if it was the big version of strengthen. Like that's on the level of like Eurost and like
Yeah.
legendaries that's their thing, you know? So
Yeah. But all right, in terms of how I built her today, we've gone for the relentless, like I was mentioning. I feel like this is the best way to go considering she's got decreased speed. And because it's a 50% chance, if you miss it the first time, there's a 50 shot of getting it the second time. So hopefully we can see this popping off. But also to keep reducing the cooldowns of the champions, such as Duchess or Geomancers, get those burns out more efficiently. And then the ally protection if we need it. But I'm kind of going to use this as a safety feature. So if I know that Wrath is about to pop off, I'm going to slap this up, or I guess just those critical moments. But main thing, trying to get as much damage out as possible with this. So I've gone for like a hybrid build with speed, resistance, and accuracy. So we've got speed everywhere, we've got speed and crit rate, HP percent on the gauntlets, resistance on the chest plate, so she's not under provokes or anything like that, so we can get into our control with our cleanse. Speed on the boots, we've gone accuracy. Lucky enough, I managed to farm one from the spider after like 15 hours. And then HP here and HP here. Overall stats, as I was saying, nice little blend. So we got 60k HP, close to 3k defense, 252 speed. Crit rate and crit damage, we're not really caring about in this build. High resistance and high accuracy, just so we can get resisted and stuff.
I'm blocking those ones if you want to move me out of the way to show the resistance.
There we go.
Accuracy.
Good you said that.
Yes.
We just showed all the stats again. There we go. Boom. You guys can take a little cheeky little screenshot or zoom into Nub's face. Masteries. We've gone to, I guess it's a bit subjective, right? Let me just put myself on top of Nub over here. There we go. We're building a house.
Hey there, buddy.
There he is. Is your hair itchy?
Give me a little tickle. Tickle them nips.
Oh god. So all right. Oh man. All right. Offense tree. Heading down to War Master. She doesn't have a lot of like actual damage turns. So in terms of that, it's not going to be a lot of damage, but when it happens, it happens. And defensive tree, trying to get counterattacks for those decreased speeds. But you could potentially go to the support tree, because you can go sniper to increase your chance of placing decreased speed, and then lasting gifts to extend the value of those ally protections, etc. So I guess it really comes down to your preference and how you want to build her. But for this showcase, I'm just going to stick with the defensive tree, how I'd usually do it.
One thing that's obviously a bummer, right, is because it's a new faction. We don't have any of the special accessories. I found that to be a problem with with the arena, right? Because no reaction. But if she was in Revenge, like you imagine 3 pieces of Revenge accessory, that's a 15% chance to counterattack, and that A1 is really, really good. And then rocking War Master AoE. So when you do get Revenge accessories again, I think she's going to get a lot better.
Yeah.
So that will take some time.
just gave us like 11 new champions and said, go farm Spider.
Yeah, go. I know.
Like, I can't even showcase it. Like, guys, look, I literally farmed it all night. I think you mentioned it to me, right? To farm it. And I was like, oh, God. Look, wait, this is all I got.
Oh, wow. You've got almost nothing.
I farmed it for all night. I left it on all night. This never happened. All right, guys. What we're going to do first is we'll go into the quicker stuff just for the showcase of the kit. And then we'll go into the Hydra boss. So I prepped a few little teams here. Mainly just to showcase the skill set. So we're going to go into stage 24, and the way that I've got this set up is, so we've got the Myceliac Priestdawn, who's the epic champion for the fusion, just trying to pop out that A3. So it's kind of like a budget poison explosion without a dark KO. We got Drop Defense and Weaken, we got Elenaru, and then we've got her to hopefully reduce the cooldowns of our lead position. Now, I don't know how exactly this works, but the way that I feel like she prioritizes the cleanse with the A2 is on the first position champion, if there's no debuffs on our champions, but then if somebody has got less health, then she'll kind of go for them. So it's really hard to balance where you're going to be placing this unless you've got full control of your HP, is what I'm seeing anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see it in action anyway. So let's just go in here, boom. So if you guys pay real close attention, I've set this up so we don't one-shot. So then when we get to wave 2, we can actually see the...
Oh yeah, he's gone in poisons twice. Nice.
All right, there we go. Boom. And combust. So we're going to just save this for wave 2 with the setups. I don't know what this chick is doing with some block damage. Get out of here, man.
Block damage. No.
Such a troll.
Yeah.
Oh
Is that her animation? Is that her? That's really cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It reminds me of that... Wait, who is that? There's that...
Wow, that's so cool.
There's that rare epic. No, not rare epic. There's that rare champion that has it. And he throws the little bows. I forgot his name.
Huh. I've never seen that before. That's really, really cool.
Looks like something out of Harry Potter. All right.
Yeah.
God, here's the showcase of Crimson Home, guys. Oh my god. I didn't expect it to go like this. All right, so I'm going to get this down to a 1 speed now after the first turn. So let's go boom. Get ally protection on. All right, here I'm going to put it down to a 1 speed. Now I've set a first priority. Now you guys should be going onto the made position now. There we go. So reduce the cooldowns of him so we can get the poisons out again and enable us to take down this second wave. But now that people are mitigated, let's just say that Elenaru had less HP, she tends to put it on her instead, which could be good, but in some scenarios you might just want your lead position to do it, so just bear that in mind. So we'll see it more in action against the dragon. So now that Elenaru has less HP, let's see how this goes. So there we go. It went onto Elenaru, so now she's going to go with the cooldowns of Combust. What do you think about this? Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think it should always be a position thing in terms of that?
It's probably I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it? I guess for like a speed team, you're probably going to be so controlled against the wave that it's probably fine.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it does mean that, like, certainly when you go into those, and probably for clan boss, Demon Lord, you can really control it as well, because you can completely control what the boss does.
Yeah. I think the only place I thought it'd be detrimental is in the Hydra boss. Like, let's just say if you wanted to have a play of an Inquisitor Shamil kind of strat when you're reduced, like, always counter-attacking. If you wanted to always, like, reset the cooldowns of your lead position, I don't think it's something that'll be able to happen. So I think that's the only downside there.
Boom. Wow, that boss died so fast.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Yeah, not the fastest team in the world. I just wanted to make sure I can get a full showcase of the kit. But in terms of progression, I think this is really solid to bring into dungeons as well. And I did have a little play on Spider's Lair, so I wanted to just test that AI again. All right, guys, so we're just going to go into a round 2. We had to swap around some presets because she wanted to be silly. And all right, hopefully we can boost the lead position in terms of cooldowns after Huss dies. If she doesn't want to proc a bunch of Relentless, she's behind my chair hiding. There she is. So boom. Don't one-shot, please. Thank you. So now we got some ally protection on. Try to keep a Husk under control.
She might actually let him tank through the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the ally protection and then the cleanse.
Now we're going to reset the cooldowns and the cleanse, and boom.
Boom. There we go.
I think that's a really nice synergy there. And we actually got a Sylvan Watcher. Crit damage, please. Oh. I was really hoping we get it.
I couldn't get one. I just have an attack amulet. It was the best I could get.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, in terms
impressive, though.
In terms of Spider, I think there's a lot of utility for progression, right? Being able to tank some hits for people, reset the cooldowns of champions you want, and then I think that's really nice for progression for sure. But I just want to show you guys how we did have to set that up in case you pull this champion. In terms of her to use the AI properly, we kind of figured that she has to open up with the decreased speed. Granted, she doesn't get relentless procs. Then open up here with the ally protection to give your champions a chance to reduce their cooldowns, as she only reduces this by 2 turns. So if somebody like a Husk has a 4-turn cooldown, you need to make sure he's taking multiple turns before she does this, and you want to keep them alive. So I think this is the best way to set this up for Spider in particular, unless you have it set up in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's quite flexible, really, because you know, the ally protection, it stops them from dying to the actual physical hits. They take some damage from poisons, then cleanses all the poisons off, heals them back up.
Yeah,
seemed to work pretty good.
But all right,
yeah, you'd want stun set instead of relentless would be a lot better there, because the relentless could mess it up, but and the stun set would help.
Today the Hydra rotation didn't want to be the same as usual. It's kind of switched over. Which rotation even is this? I don't even know.
Oh gosh, I can check if it's the. Has it changed? Oh my, actually probably has changed.
It might have changed, but I think on the main server it was the Torment head, and then this one had no Torment. So I was like, oh, no Inquisitor Shemale today.
It's rotation 3, which is who knows? We're off in Africa for.
I guess it's good though, so we don't have to use it Inquisitor, but. Basically a traditional kind of team that I like to use, and we're going to be using her unique skill set to kind of reduce cooldowns of all the champions, not just Geomancer. I think he's the best pairing for this, to place multiple burns, but there's so many times that you guys will see in this run where we run out of provoke because the taunting set falls off, and we're able to reset Coroner, or reset a cleanse, or reset a revive from Duchess, and there's just so many ways to use this on a manual gameplay. So let's just go into this. I'm not sure how to speed up how you do it. How do you put the one-time speed? The 1.5 times?
Are you using VLC?
No, I'm just using like normal recording.
Oh, I'm not sure. I try if you right-click maybe the playback. It might bring up options.
No.
Anything? No. Okay, I don't know.
Anyway, guys, we will speed it up for you afterwards. But in terms of this, you'll see now we've placed the burns from Geomancer. And pay real close attention here to Mr. Geo after we've reset the cooldowns. So watch, you'll be able to cleanse Geomancer now. We're just getting the right ability here. So we're going to cleanse that provoke off, reset its cooldowns, and now he's able to go through and place another burn just in time to get some reflections of damage. So here we go. We've got provoke out from Husk, which was nice.
Yeah, she's going to be so good for this. Like if you're willing to...
Another burn.
If you're willing to, again, do some manual, which is what you got to do if you want to get the most out of Hydra. She's going to be so strong for this.
I was literally having so much fun with this, and you know that I'm not a big advocate for Hydra, but when I was using her, I was like, do you know what? Because I played with so many champs for Hydra over the time it's been out, and she definitely just feels like a game changer, if that makes sense. Like you're using her and you feel the impact of her kit. It's like, oh my god, this run, like there's so many times you guys will see where I think we get to like 20 or 30 million and it starts to get tedious. And then boom, she just kind of finds a way to reduce the right cooldowns that we need. Look at that. Reduce another cooldowns of Geomancer. And now we're able to place another burn when he takes another turn.
And like the strength and the ally protection, AoE decrease speed, those are all really, and then the bonus healing with the passive, they're really good too.
Yeah, and guys, this is the brutal difficulty. And as always, last time you guessed the turn count. Do you want to guess how far we're going to get on this team?
Oh,
I'll give you a little teaser. Let's just go a bit in. So we're around 50 turns at 15 million damage. So you can kind of base it from here.
Okay. Basing it off the progress bar of the playback that I got to sneak. I'm cheating. I'm going to say about 150 turns is my guesstimate.
All right.
I say 150.
Let's see. And guys, just bear in mind, the only healing that we have in this team is her A2 ability with a full out cleanse, and also Ugo, which isn't substantial, but her passive allows you to heal by 20% whenever she is healed. So here we go, guys. We'll come back to you towards the end. So, all right, guys, Nubraids was wrong in his prediction, but we hit over 200 turns on the brutal difficulty with only one healer in Ugo. And for me, I think that is pretty crazy. And she was allowing that by default, heals and cleanses of specific champions and allowing Duchess to consistently revive. And it was just she was just amazing, man. So good.
Yeah, that's so impressive, actually.
Let me just move you out of the way.
Yeah, move me. Yeah.
In terms of damage, of course, she only has one hit, and we're prioritizing her other skills to kind of survive with the ally protections and the reducing of cooldowns to allow people like Husk and Geomancer to perform a lot better in a team like this. And I think traditionally with a Snake Track, when I was comparing it earlier, this same team does around 38 to 40 million. So she enabled me to bump another 7 million damage. And I think I had a bit of way to go if my Duchess didn't get eaten. So
yeah, that's insane. I mean, you got to the point where it's like all your champions are being eaten constantly.
Yeah.
Like that's like the enrage, you know? That's so impressive. That's actually insane.
For an epic champion, I would definitely put her up there as one of the best. There's no doubt about it from what I've been seeing anyway. But
agreed.
Yeah. So overall, what is your final thoughts? I know you said it was your first time seeing her in action. Is this somebody that you want to kind of find if she came up as like a guaranteed or a 10x event? Yeah.
100%. She's extremely good from what I can see. Like extremely, extremely good. And I think you get revenge accessories on her. She's not even at that full potential.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she seems just superb. She fulfills a lot of the Krisk style roles then with the ally protection, the AoE decrease speed, and then she's got that whole utility of the reduced cooldown thing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
She's really, she's very good. She's better than I thought, a lot better than I thought when I first saw her. I was really underestimating her. She's like, she seems like S tier epic for this, no question.
Yeah, you know me, like usually like I would have tried out in a Demon or Clan Boss and I was like, do you know what? I feel like I'm just being forced into Hydra here. I was just reading a kit. I was like, this is just stupid crazy. And it's actually my most wanted after Michinaki, who I managed to get luckily. But
Oh wow, nice.
But yeah, she's definitely, in terms of Sylvan Watchers, probably her or Elva is the ones that I would be chasing in terms of epic and legendary.
The two of them together would be really, really strong as well.
Oh, can you imagine? Yeah, if you don't have a Duchess,
Yeah.
man, do you know what I'm just thinking she has to be up to one of the best epics in the game. Like, do you when you talk about like Godseekers and Ugos and these kind of champions? I feel like she's in there. She's in that discussion, man. 100%.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's the void epic, where void epic is as good as a legendary, you know, a normal legendary, no question. Yeah.
But all right, guys, we are going to head over to Nubraid's channel for part 2 before we're here for another 15 hours, which we always like to do on collabs. Is there anything you want to say here before we sign off?
No.
No?
No.
God's sake. All right, guys. Well, on that note, make sure you come check out part 2 and see if there's any more notes from Nubraids on his channel. Make sure you go drop a sub there as well. And if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.